What an incredible day to be a fan, man. Yo, so I just finished finally getting what I told you I was gonna get up last night. After we went to sleep, there was around like 3 hours of dead time after where we got off. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get to the rest of the stuff in the morning. So I'm about to react to apparently a Monsters one shot, dude. We're gonna get that in animated form. That's what's up next. Shout out to an individual within the comments section. The right here, Oda's manga series Monsters is an anime adaptation. I'm putting in the timestamps. And then we're gonna be seeing when they're introducing the new ending and the new opening. So I'm very, very excited for that. Let's go ahead and get into that. And then I'm going to go through the recap of the day that was last night / this morning. So if you would like to see the reaction to the up until, I think, the Bounty Rush tournament, that is over on the channel. We'll have that in the description box down below. But for right now, and also right now, the reaction to the live action adaptation trailer, the official trailer, is up on the channel, as well as the Gear 5th trailer reaction, which was the biggest thing I've ever seen. Those are up right now. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to see the Monster one shot. Let's go ahead and set up the camera and we'll get it started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see the Monsters one shot. Here we go, full screen. I see Egghead, the volume cover for what is this, volume 106, right? 3, 2, 1, let's jam. 2022. Let's go through all the volumes. Romance Dawn. 95, 94. Monsters Wanted. Look at him. E&H production. Ryuma. I can't wait to see this, man. So, is that the end of the trailer? So, dude, when we got this, when I woke up and I was told about this, apparently we're gonna have some really, really incredibly talented individuals that are gonna be working on this one shot. So I cannot wait for this. Obviously, this is going back to Oda, very young Oda. I think it was like 19 years old when he created this one shot. So obviously we've talked about this in the channel multiple different times due to the Wano lore and the Ryuma stuff, right? But that is so cool, man, that we're going to be getting this one shot now. I'm very much looking forward to that, man. Ryuma, bro, that's going to be so fire. Now, let's get into the ending and opening stuff. Okay, here it is. There's chili beans. Hold on. Ending band, chili beans. There they are. Okay. I just want to see this. Hello, we are chili beans. After 17 years of silence, we have been chosen to create the One Piece anime ending music. 17 years, bro, it's confirmed. The new ending, man. We haven't had one in so long since the you know what I mean? Like, it's been so long. It's in these lobbies, man. Sneak peek. Here it is. Oh, God. Race. Crab. Look at Luffy. The Thousand Sunny. Wano. Endings are back. Yo, I have goosebumps. Is that Momo? Yamato. This sounds fantastic. Yo, this looks insanely good. Look at Wano. No, you can't stop it. Dog, it looks incredible. Our first ending back and it looks like a movie. Hold up. Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta watch it one more time. Crab. Luffy. Thousand Sunny, Wano. Dude, the visuals, man. And this sounds like a perfect ending theme. Momo. I think that's Momo, right? Look how good Wano looks. And then Yamato. Yeah. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal, man. Look at Wano, bro. All right. Now we go through and collect the screenshots. Hold on. One more time. Dude. This looks too good, man. This looks way too good. And his sound's fantastic too, bro. Yeah, no, this sounds fire. Can't wait to see the full ending, man. I can't, bro. This is insane. We're getting a new ending, and it sounds and looks so good. Somehow, some way, this incredible day has gotten even better. Monsters. And apparently it's being animated by E&H Production. So from what I've been told, we have a lot to look forward to here when it comes to the anime adaptation of this. Obviously, this is very, very important to the fandom. Ryuma greatness. Oda, every single time we get to see like an anime adaptation of like the two Romance Dawn, before Romance Dawn stuff, right? Like the original from 95 and 96. Those have both been turned into OVAs now with episode 907, or one in the actual anime with 907, and the other one with an OVA. So we've seen them within the anime adaptation, and now we're going to be getting monsters, man, which is so, so cool. I cannot wait to see this animated. We still don't have a release date for it, but it is going to be taking place, man. Now, a new opening and new ending are going to be coming out, and according to my boy Arthur, shout out to Arthur over at Library of Ohara, my question looks like it's been answered. And apparently these two, the opening and the ending, are going to be premiering with the Gear 5 episode. That is going to be the craziest day in the history of this channel. A new opening, a new ending accompanying our beloved anime adaptation of the peak, of the pinnacle. And let me tell y'all something, man. The new opening, I can't even imagine what that thing is about to have. The new opening is about to have, I can't wait to hear how it sounds, obviously, but the visuals is always what we look forward to seeing here. I really love dissecting the last two openings, so I definitely want to do that again with this one. So that's going to be a crazy, crazy weekend, man. It's going to be a crazy weekend. So I'm very much looking forward to watching that. We got to see 15 seconds around, no, it was like 30 seconds of the ending, and the ending sounds and looks phenomenal, man. And so far so good for the ending. Looks super, super cool, and I look forward to seeing the rest of it there. We caught it obviously earlier on in this reaction, but if you would like to go see it, please go watch the One Piece Day 2023 Day 2 and click on the timestamps down in the comment section down below, and you will find it. It looks so good. The ending looks phenomenal. And it sounds great too. So we're gonna have a lot to look forward to that day, obviously, and we'll get to that in just a second. But Monsters One Shot and a new opening and ending confirmed throughout the entire day. And honestly, even before that, we were getting a few leaks in regards to the opening. Like the opening, we were like, oh, new opening coming. And I was like, okay, bet, right? Like we talked about that in the Reverie. We were like, man, we would look forward to, and hopefully getting an opening very soon, right? And but nobody expected an ending. Nobody expected an ending, man. You know, catching up to the One Piece anime, those up until the end of Eni's Lobby is a very, very personal experience to me, right? And I've gone through it so many times, and I miss the endings. As a matter of fact, I talked to my boy Francisco Silva about this the other day, where we were like, man, we miss the endings. Like, what happened to the endings, man? Can we bring them back? And it was just, you know, they're never going to bring them back at this point. They brought them back. Endings are back. Endings are back, and they look like they're gonna be better than ever, man. It's insane. We are eating. Speaking of eating, the live action adaptation. Bro. Yo, the live action looks so good, man. In this one trailer, we got to see so much more than we saw in the original teaser. In the original teaser, obviously, even then we got to see the awesome character dynamics a little bit from the setting, and it looks great. But here, man, here we got to see Goldie Roger delivering the speech of legend. Here we got to see Monkey D. Dragon in Logtown. Here we got to see Alvida fighting off against Luffy and Kobe in that particular section, right, of the story. They weren't fighting, but we got to see, you know, the characters that were there. Here, we got to see the brand new Orange Town set. It looks like it's going to take place in the middle of a circus with Buggy and Zoro and Nami, and it looks so cool. Here, we got to see the stuff that made not just me, but so many people fans of this series. And Baratier and Arlong Park, and it looks like the live action is going to take more creative liberties to make them more like a cohesive, one flows into the other. Even though the manga and the anime, of course, we have several plot threads that go from Baratier and lead into Arlong Park in many different ways. But it looks like here in the Netflix adaptation, it's going to be much more direct. And I'm so excited for that, man. So we're going to be going from because if you see it in the trailer, of course, after the Kuro stuff, and they all have such awesome outfits. But after the Kuro stuff and seeing the Luffy Jolly Roger, which I'm so glad they kept that he drew the original Jolly Roger, and stuff of that nature. Going to Zero Village, seeing Kuro's claws, which looks phenomenal. But when we go over to Baratier and we see Sanji going in, he's fighting Kurobi. Now, Kurobi and Sanji does not happen until Arlong Park, so we were speculating last night, okay, does this mean that we're going to be getting several Arlong Park plot points early on within the live-action adaptation? Where we get, rather than Nami taking the ship and heading off, we have a situation where Arlong and the boys pull up to the Baratier in the midst of the Don Krieg craziness, in the midst of the Mihawk craziness, and they go up in like swimwear in an attempt to do whatever it is you're going to do, and Nami's does the betrayal here rather than when she leaves, and then, you know, the scene with Usopp later on, right, and Zoro and stuff of that nature. So we might get that type of stuff in Baratier, and then when we get to Arlong Park, then we get, you know, right into the Nami stuff and the help me and stuff of that nature. So I wonder how they're going to go about it. I'm very excited because it feels like this is going to flow better from a live action adaptation standpoint. Obviously, the manga and the anime was perfect in the way they did it. But since they're going to be taking their creative liberties, just like Oda said in the special message, which let's go ahead and read that again, because Oda read off a special message last night that goes into the fact they are taking creative liberties, and there are going to be things that were not in the manga, and several things that were omitted from the original source material, but it came out of a place of love. And so let's go ahead and read Oda's message here. But actually, hold on, before I do that, we got the Luffy help me scene. We got the walk to Arlong Park in this trailer. The scenes that made me a fan forever, man. It made me a fan of anime, honestly. Like, just to keep going and like never stop seeking out this stuff. I was like, nah, man, this is the peakest, right? This is the peak fiction. So to see that in live action in glimpses, I can't wait to see the actual scene itself. It's going to be peak, but to see it in live action, seeing the Gomu Gomu no Gatling, like the ability looks so cool. And Luffy himself, Inaki Godoy, continues to sell me every single time I see him on screen as Luffy, and obviously as my favorite character, right? All I want to see is whether or not I'm going to see Luffy greatness here in live action the same way that we got in the original material, because he really is the part of the story. The Straw Hat dynamic is the strongest part about East Blue, but Luffy for me has always been like my favorite part, right? So seeing how Inaki Godoy is really nailing the Luffy greatness with the I want to be the king of the pirates line, the serious stuff, the comedic stuff, even the Gomu Gomu no ability looks much better than it did in the original teaser trailer. It was just great stuff. And so let's go ahead and read Oda's message. So the live action One Piece, and we see the Whitebeard right here. Can we get much higher? You know what I mean? That's what he's trying to tell us. Like, yo, there's no way we can ever get much higher, you know, until the end of the series. Are you kidding me? Live action greatness, Gear 5 greatness, the manga's going crazy, everything getting revealed, a new ending in the first time in 17 years. No, bro. Oda was like, yo, this is our peak. This is our peak until we get to the end of the story, man. Like, this is insane. So the live action One Piece, this is Oda speaking. The teaser and the trailer are now out, and the launch date for the show itself is set for August 31st. I'll say this, there were no compromises on this show, and the festivities have already begun. It's already fun seeing the flurry of reactions after each release of information. I love how they're just like us, right? Going out and searching for reactions of how people are feeling, right, about this type of stuff. You know, it's what makes it so special. Celebrating this within our community, and the very fact that adapting One Piece into live action was conceived 7 years ago is wild. How will this world be brought to life? And it's like, man, I can only imagine how this must be for Oda. You know, having all the way back in pre-production 7 years ago, 2016. It's like, man, to see this now, it's like, wow. There was so much that went into it, all the efforts by the actors, the building of the world, and the costumes, presenting things in a way that can only be done in live action. The dialogue and the entire process of so many people putting their heads together was a festivity in and of itself. After the launch, I'm sure I'll hear about some people pointing out how this character is missing or that scene is omitted, or this bit is different from the manga, but I'm sure they'll come from a place of love. That's what we were just talking about. So I intend to enjoy those comments. LOL, the story will span 8 episodes and take us through you know where. We all know where it's going to take us through the end of the East Blue, going right into Logtown with the To the Grand Line scene of their dreams being proclaimed on the barrel. It's going to be the perfect ending sequence for the first season. What you've lost, stop counting. We see Jinbei right here. Even after the shoot was over, there was numerous scenes the production agreed to reshoot because I felt they weren't good enough to put out into the world. And I love how they had so much trust in Oda. They wanted him, and we talked about this in previous interviews before with Oda on the channel, or that we covered on the channel. But that Oda did watch a bunch of screenings for the stuff that's being showcased here. He approved this stuff, man. You know, the stuff added, the stuff taken out. The brother approved of it. And as we see right here, because they weren't good enough to put onto the world. On the other hand, there were also some lines that I thought didn't feel like Luffy on paper. But when I saw the film scenes, I went, it works when it's Inaki Godoy performing it as Luffy. That's some respect, bro. That is some respect. As a matter of fact, it works great. Inaki's the actor who plays Luffy. There were so many things that had to be done to keep things from looking too unnatural in the live action. The producers and the crew are pros at live action, and frankly, they're One Piece superfans too. The more knowledgeable you are about One Piece, the more you're likely to notice the love they poured into this. Dude, we saw Cavendish at the end of the trailer. Like, man, Cavendish, Alvida, Bellamy, and their bounty posters. It's like, man, that's a labor of love, dude. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was June when we made the final decision to go ahead and launch the show. My editor, who worked so hard on this, actually cried as he said it was such a long journey. LOL. Not that working hard on something guarantees success, of course, that's true. By now, I just love this production team and the cast so much that I can't wait for them to get the acclaim they deserve from everyone around the world. He just wants them to succeed. He's seen how much they put into this, the love, the care, the time they put into this, being a part of the process. All he wants is to see it succeed, and I feel the same way. And I'm looking at it as an outsider who is just attached to the cast themselves and to this live-action adaptation we've been following the journey of for the past couple of years. That's all I want is the success of it too. But Oda's been a part of it, man. He knows these people on a personal level. He's like, yo, I just want this stuff to succeed, right? They deserve around the world. And if by any chance people have some gripes, I'll be there to receive them together. Like, yo, Oda was like, yo, send them to me. I approved all this stuff. If you have any gripes about it, send them to me. All right. Now, whatever feelings you choose to harbor, in the meantime, it's still going to be 1 month. So please have some tea as you wait. Ichiro Oda. Man, I'll tell you what, watching this trailer last night, I was already excited for the show, but watching the trailer last night, seeing some of that stuff, realized it hit home in a completely different way, and I couldn't believe how good it looked. Garp looks way better. I could have imagined Mihawk looks phenomenal, man. We had the Shanks Luffy scene, like I said, the walk to Arlong Park, the character dynamics being showed off between Zoro and Sanji. That scene was awesome in Arlong Park. I was like, no, this is speaking to me. This is speaking to me, man. And so the Arlong Park set looks incredible. The Bratier set looks incredible. And so obviously Roger, and it's just like, bro, so many things. Luffy and Kobe look phenomenal at the end of the thing. Both of them, they just look like their characters, especially from that point in time in the story. But showing the bounty posters like that, it really showcases this is a labor of love. And when it goes into showing the abilities, right, that was one of the things that we were all Like, I'm gonna be like, okay, what are we gonna do here? I know Arlong was like a half and half thing for the people, at least in my chat. Some people thought he looked weird. Some other people thought he looked great. I'm right there in the middle, man. I still have to get used to the way he looks, but I think he looks super, super dope. Like, I think that fits as Arlong for the live action. It looked better than I thought it was gonna look. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks really, really good. The CG is really good, and the seagull that we saw that was made of CG within the trailer looks incredible as well. So obviously they've done their work when it comes to the CGI stuff, and we can leave it up to them as the individuals behind this. But then the attacks, like Buggy's attack looked awesome. The duel sequences with Sanji and Zoro fighting, like I talked about just a while ago, looked super, super cool. But the Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Gatling, the whip, and of course him doing the axe, the axe. All of those looked great. They looked fantastic. Especially the Gatling. I love the way the Gatling looked. I was like, that is the Gatling in the live action adaptation. Like, that's exactly what it would look like. And then and especially, the axe. I thought that looked incredible. And it's such an iconic scene, right? So I was like, yo, that's gonna be nailed. That's gonna be nailed. A lot of the iconic scenes are gonna be nailed. And of course they're gonna gain a new type of weight with the live action in regards to, we're gonna be going at it with nostalgia from the anime and the manga, seeing how they're going to be adapted. But then we're going to have the personal attachment to the live action adaptation of things. And so it's like, man, it looks so good. And I can't wait. August 31st, we will be there no matter what. I'm very much looking forward to seeing these 8 episodes. And I know a lot of you are looking forward to it as well. And so please let me know how I felt about live action down below. But for now, we're moving on to my favorite part of last night. Something I can't believe still happened, which is they showed off the drums of liberation, the drums of peak fiction, and Gear 5, man. Oh my gosh, bro. We got this incredible section where we looked at Nagamine in over at Toei, the director for this episode, the current series director. And they were talking about the amount of love they've poured into the Gear 5 episode 1071. We got to have a behind-the-scenes look at the title, which I was like, man, like, yo. Yeah, Fipsu, you know what I mean? It just sounded so peak, dog. And then we got to see Mayumi Tanaka deliver some lines live. And I was like, bro, because the thing is, right? Mayumi Tanaka is so incredible, and I've always known that she was incredible, obviously. One of the greatest to ever do it. But when she started crying, like, it hit me so hard, specifically because of what she said. She started crying because of the amount of love, the amount of passion, the entire group, from the voice actors to people behind the scenes, the directors, the storyboard artists, everyone, the composers, the animators coming in from all over, like how hard everyone worked on these episodes, because they've been in pre-production for a really, really long time. And so that community aspect, that togetherness, seeing how much they all come out of it way stronger. And I can only imagine, because of the COVID stuff, maybe they thought they would never be able to do this again, right? And so to have that, to be able to do that and share that experience with each other, man, she was in tears, and it hit me hard. It hit me hard, man. And then we follow that up, the greatest teaser trailer of all time, of the anime adaptation of chapter 1044, which is going to be episode 1071, which, don't forget, is also going to air, apparently, with the new opening and the new ending. Oh my god, bro, that's going to be the greatest day ever. So within the trailer, there's some certain key things to note. Number one, this is my peak. All right, this is my peak. I just can't believe it. It looks so good, bro. Luffy looks so good. The drums, if that is going to be the drums they use, it is perfect. It sounds perfect. That is exactly what they should be, and it sounds phenomenal. Phenomenal, man. We see several different key sequences of, like, Luffy, for example, like grabbing on the waistband, pulling it, and that's how he becomes Popeye the Sailor Man. And I thought, oh, that is awesome. That's the type of stuff that I can't wait to see from this. Whenever Luffy winds up, and then he punches Kaido, and Kaido starts having his eyes rolling. That's what I can't wait to see, the cartoony nature. And we're already seeing them explore with this with episode 1042, or episode 1069, covering the chapter 1042 stuff, where Kaido looks like a cartoon character. He legit looks like someone on a Cuphead. So I was like, bring that energy for Gear 5, and they most certainly have. Gear 5 looks like it has its own unique art style, as it should, right? And it looks so different. It looks so good. You see the playful nature of Luffy on full display. And I love how it's a combined aspect, right, from both the audios and the visuals. Obviously, we haven't seen the episode yet, so we don't know what soundtracks they're going to use. But the drums liberation sound good. Mayumi Tanaka. Yeah. It sounds so good, man. It sounds so good, dude. And with the "This Is My Peak," yeah, Fipsu, I mean, nah, man. It is perfect. It is legit perfect, as always. She killed it. She absolutely, I mean, she is Luffy. She is Luffy, man. And so, getting to see all of that, I mean, tears in our eyes, man. But whenever we see the scenes, right, from 1044, he goes and he grabs Kaido, seeing the Popeye scene, and it's like him moving around, seeing all these different types of art styles for Gear 5. It just looks so good. Every time we got like a close-up shot, it looked so good. It's just, you can tell they're having the time of their lives with Gear 5. And it just, it really, that passion, that energy, it resonates. And it just looks phenomenal, man. It looks even better than I could have ever imagined and ever dreamed. When I was thinking about this episode, I was like, how is it gonna look? How is it gonna feel? And I honestly didn't want them to show Gear 5 as a reactor, because I was like, man, I would much rather see that stuff live. Now I'm 40 times more hyped to watch the episode after that teaser trailer. Like, I am here, and I cannot wait for the peak when it airs. Like, it's gonna, if I thought that was incredible, wait until the episode airs, especially if it airs alongside an opening and a new ending, right? Like, it's gonna be insane. So they go in their like swimwear and showcase Gear 5 in multiple different ways, but still hiding a few of the things. Like, they never showed the iconic scene with him with the eyes, or with the hand over his eyes in the pose. They never showed the magic cylinder or the twirl. I was like, man, they're still keeping a few things under wraps, you know. And even the things they did show, it cut so quick. And I was like, man, and we didn't see the iconic pose either. Like, so many things we still have to see within the episode. That's what gets me so excited, is that we saw a few of these action sequences, and it's like, man, I can't even imagine how it's gonna look in the anime. Like, I can't even imagine. And so, really, really exciting stuff. Really, really exciting stuff, man. Dude, I still can't believe we got it. Like, yo, last night, we were all thinking, like, are we gonna get it? Are we gonna get something like that? We actually did, bro. And it was better than we could have ever imagined, man. And so, I rewatched that trailer like 100 trillion times. And it's just, I just, when I see specifically the Luffy and Kaido scene whenever they're together, I'm like, this goes beyond my dreams. It goes beyond my dreams, man. It looks so good that it goes beyond what I was dreaming for this episode. And it was just, I couldn't believe it. And I'm still in awe. Man. Like, it truly mmade last night that much more special. That was our first time seeing my personal favorite chapter in the series animated. And it's like crazy, and it was just a couple sequences. And then right there with it is 1045, so I can't even imagine how 1072 it's about to be animated as well. But for 1071, man, my hype could not be higher. That is going to be so special, so peak. And man, it's gonna be legendary, bro. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. And so, that episode obviously is gonna be absolutely insane, and we're gonna be here for it no matter what. No matter what, man. Especially after that trailer, bro. The drums, man. The drums! Yeah! It's so peak, man. It's so peak. So, following that up, we got some more Gear 5 greatness. Gear 5 in the trading card game. I'm getting Gear 5. I think they said in Bounty Rush. Don't comment that. But we did get the confirmation for 2 of them. We got Gear 5 for Treasure Cruise incoming, and I'm going to assume that I think that's going to be August 6th, which is going to be the day after or that night. One of the two, because I'm not sure if they were doing it from their time or our time. But August 6th is going to be a big update for Treasure Cruise. So I'm going to assume that very same night as it airs in the anime or the day after, we're going to have Gear 5. Excuse me, within Treasure Cruise. So if you play One Piece Treasure Cruise, look forward to that. Definitely going to be pulling for that unit. And then in Pirate Warriors, a game that had been dormant and dead for quite a few years, is coming back. And it's coming back in full display, man. I couldn't believe my eyes. Because obviously going into it, we knew they were going to reveal some characters, and we were like, okay, maybe one of them's Gear 5 Luffy. But look at what they revealed, man. Look at all of these characters. Dude! So starting off the trailer, obviously, they showed Roof Piece Luffy and the Gear 5. I can't wait to use that, man. I can't wait, dude. It is going to be legendary being able to use that in Pirate Warriors. And I'm going to assume, because it says July 24th. Wait, what is today? I think July 24th, we're going to get some more information. And then September, I think, is whenever this stuff's going to drop. So I think that's how it's going to go. I think July 24th, more information, and September, because it said 9 on the stream, that we're going to be getting the drop of these characters. It's going to be so awesome. Cannot wait for that. We'll see how that goes. But listen, man, look at all these slots. So confirmed that we have so far, we're going to have Luffy, Uta, and then for the last one, that looks like Roger. And so after, of course, that they showed Law. With the Onigashima Law, which we assume is going to have the re-room and the awakening, stuff of that nature. So right now we have 4 characters confirmed: Luffy, Uta, Roger, and Law. So let's go ahead and predict some of these other ones. Yamato is an obvious one for me. I think Yamato for sure is going to be happening. I think King for sure is going to be happening. So those two can be scratched off. So we have 4 more slots available. I'm going to say hybrid form Kaido is going to be one of them. I think another one's going to go to potentially Zoro or Sanji, or both, in their Onigashima versions, which is going to be so incredible. So incredible for either of them. Oh, man, are you kidding me? Both? I would love to use either. But there's only so many slots. So I'm not sure where they're going to go with it, because there's so many characters they can put in here. But Zoro, Sanji, Kid, with his new awakening as well, these are all characters they could potentially show. And so if these are all characters they could potentially show, then we'll see where that goes. I would be excited for any of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's only one of them, considering how many characters they have to choose from. Now, I'm going to assume they're going to stick to just Onigashima Wano stuff. They're not going to go into the stuff after that. So if that's the case, we might end up getting a... man, I can't believe... If we get adult Momonosuke, like I talked about last night on stream, oh man, he's going to be so broken. Somebody brought it up. It was like, he's going to be like Odin and Kaido in one character. Dude, I'm going to spam Momonosuke, man. He's gonna be so good. I hope he's one of the characters. I really, really do. That's one of my biggest dreams and hopes. So, and Ulti, some of the Tobiropo for sure, I think could potentially be in here. I'm definitely gonna say Ulti is gonna be one of them. So I'm gonna go with that, right? All that pool of characters I just said is more than likely what we're gonna get. I think with Luffy and Gear 5, Yamato is gonna be right after. And then right next to Yamato, I'm going to assume King is gonna be right there as well. And then with Uta, we're probably, unless they go like on a movie spree and they just do straight movie characters or characters related to Uta, like we get a new Shanks or what the stuff that happens in Post Wano, which would be really, really cool. They would have Wi-Fi hockey Shanks. Are you kidding me, dog? And Shanks from Film Red. Oh, that'd be so hype. But if we don't get that, then it'll probably continue to be Wano Onigashima characters. Which, if that's the case, then we're probably going to end up getting, like I said, one of the other Tobiropo members, or potentially in this batch, your Zoro, your Sanji, your Kid, in their new Onigashima versions. And then, of course, with Roger, I'm very excited to see who's going to be in that batch as well, because I don't know if these represent their sections, right? Where we're going to have like the Onigashima section first with Luffy, and they were going to go into Uta, representing like maybe the movie section, so we could get like movie characters. Can you imagine being able to use Shiki, or Z, or Gil Tesoro, or Bullet, or stuff of that nature? Like, I think all of them would be really, really cool characters to use within these, these movie exclusive characters. And if that's the case, I'm down for that as well. And then with Roger, it's like, what characters could we potentially get with someone like him, right? Like a Prime Whitebeard, even though Whitebeard's already in the game, but it does give us like a Prime version. That would definitely be extremely hype. That would be awesome, allowing us to play as Prime Whitebeard. We already have Odin, so from that flashback, I just wonder who else we could potentially get that we can use. Recon from the future here. Dude, I recorded all of this before the supposed leaks from the data miners as to who's going to be in the game. And I'm surprised on how much we hit the nail on the head on some of these, and how much I missed on some of the others. And so I just wanted to interject, because this segment did go on for quite a few more minutes of me trying to think about certain characters that will be in the game. Now, of course, I'm not sure if any of these are going to be confirmed, but I guess we'll see what happens. Definitely, if you're interested in that, I'm not going to say it just in case somebody doesn't want to be spoiled on potential future characters within Pirate Warriors. But the list is very, very interesting, and it is categorized, at the very least, from what I've seen, where it's going to be the Battle of Onigashima characters. Then I thought it was going to be all movie. Now it's going to be film red characters after that, and then legacy characters, which is super, super cool. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing if all of these are true. If all of these are true, we are in for an incredible, incredible DLC batch. One that, man, it's going to be legendary. And filled with so many dream scenarios, dream opportunities. I just hope that with these we get more DLC for us to play around with, more awesome scenarios, maybe additional portions to either the story or more missions, right? Because I've already done everything there is to do in this game, and I think it would be awesome if they were to add way more stuff that you can do, way more bosses you can fight, co-op missions and stuff of that nature. And so that's what we're going to be hoping for with the incoming Pirate Warriors stuff. But for right now, if these leaks are true, we are in for an incredible, incredible batch of DLC characters. Praetorus gave me the awesome idea on stream for the One Piece Day celebration to do another Big 3 Afterthoughts this week. However, it's not Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. We're going to be doing the manga, the live action, and the anime. And so I was like, you know what? Unfortunately, I won't be able to record this part of the video with the video footage, but I will be here for the audio of that manga greatness, because we need to talk about this amazing chapter, ladies and gentlemen. Chapter 1088 of the best-selling manga in history was absolutely sensational. I mean, from beginning to end, it was one of those phenomenal chapters of Oda just cooking at the highest level. And I know that I've been saying that a lot, especially in the past few, in this incredible stretch that we're in. But this one in particular was really special from an emotional standpoint. You know, I teared up 2 times while reading this chapter. Number one, that incredible Kobe sequence, man. Listen, bro. After, especially, somebody brought this up on stream too. It's like, it's going to be wild looking at Kobe in the live action and seeing how far he's come. And that's exactly how I've been feeling after experiencing the One Piece Day stuff. And after watching that live action trailer a bunch of times and seeing how far, not only the Straw Hats have come, right? Whenever I compare the Luffy from back then to the Luffy now, Emperor Monkey D, right? But Kobe too, bro, where we look back to the beginning of the story and we remember everything that was happening there with Alvida, and now we're like, man, look at how far these brothers have come. Look at how much they've put in, and it's just like, bro. What I enjoyed so much about this Kobe moment, and it actually was representative of this entire chapter, is how self-contained it could feel at times, with not just a story being told in this one single chapter, but also since chapter 1080. And honestly, even before that, with chapter 1071, I think it was, where it ends with Garp. It's been built up, right? And or even before that, honestly, with the chapter 1059 stuff with Kobe at Amazon Lily. And then if you want to go even further than that, we can go to episode 957, aka chapter 956, right? With Kobe setting out, attempting to capture Hancock. So it's like, this has been built up to this moment, not only throughout the course of the story, but throughout these chapters leading us to here. And I'll tell you what, man, this particular chapter really impressed me with the amount of callbacks that it would have to the beginning of the chapter in several different forms. But with Kobe, it's like when you focus so much on his mentality and the mentality of how others believe in him, but he himself has a hard time believing that, can I actually do this? And it really goes into his character, and it's believable because obviously we know where he's come from. We know the Kobe that used to be. And to see those flashback sequences of him training with Garp, Garp believing in him, Meppo talking about the fact that that Kobe had spent all of this time training while everybody else was eating, while everyone was sleeping. Kobe was training because he believed he needed to catch up to everyone else, right? And what was so cool to me about that is he's working 200 times harder, not necessarily to catch up to the others around him, but because the vision that he has of where he wants himself to be is Kuzan and Garp. So he's doing the same thing that they're doing, right? Punching the battleship bags. And so whenever we get this scene right here where you see the Conqueror's Haki leaking out of him, now to me, I've seen the discourse on whether this is regular Conqueror's Haki, Conqueror's Coding, Rio Haki, whatever it is. To me, that's not even the important part about this. The important part about this, to me, is the fact that his will has gotten to the point to where now when he's releasing this type of attack, this is the type of damage output that he's able to put out. The weakling that we met at the beginning of the series is now capable of doing stuff like this. And of course, we'd seen the writing on the wall all the way back from Marineford. But to see at this point in time where Haki truly does bloom in the heat of battle, for him to release an attack like this, Conqueror's Coding, Conqueror's Attack, Ornament Haki, I don't care what it was. The fact that after all of these years of him putting in so much time and energy attempting to catch up to everyone else, he's the one who happens to save the individuals that are here, which is why he's doing this. We see that his goal, his main thing, is that he wants to protect the people that he cares about, protects the people that he loves. He has that MC energy about him, right? From other series where all they want to do is protect those that are important to them, right? And so to me, Kobe having that as his goal, as his dream, really makes me realize just how much of a monster he's going to be as it progresses. Not only because he is the true, disciple of Garp here, carrying on the will of the Marines, the vision that Garp has for the Marines within Kobe, right? Kobe's sort of like the symbol of that. But what was so cool about it is you get to see how much other people care about Kobe's success. You see Groose, you see Kujaku, you see Hibari, you see how all of them react to this moment. And it was so emotional because obviously, as longtime fans, or even as somebody who just recently caught up to the series because of the length of the journey, similar to other stuff we've got in the Final Saga so far, such as the Buggy moment, the Shanks moment, the Instant Messenger Summon moment, all of this stuff is building on your personal history, your legacy with the series. And so you're here and you're like, man, we've gone on this long journey with these characters, and now we're starting to see the long journey that's been happening behind the scenes with those very same characters, with people like Hibari, Kujaku, Groose, Meppo, these individuals, Garp, these individuals that love Kobe so much that whenever he does something like this, they legitimately have tears in their eyes. They're like, thank you for saving me, but I can't believe that you actually did that. Like, Captain Kobe, you are amazing. And that to me is so cool because, once again, I felt the same type of thing whenever I saw the chapter 1009 and 1010 stuff when it comes to the Luffy and Zoro content that was on the roof. Because to me it was more about the intention than the actual feats themselves, right? Because whenever you have Zoro stepping in to stop the Ikaku sovereignty, the intention there was what was extremely important for me. The fact that someone would be willing to go out of their way to attempt to do something like that is insane. And I was like, Zoro, you are truly out of this world phenomenal. When chapter 1010 came out, and after Luffy performed the Conqueror's coded attacks, and he tells Law to go back down, that he wants to fight Kaido one-on-one, it was the intention, right? Regardless of the result that happened after in 1013, the intention to attempt to fight the world's strongest creature one-on-one. I was like, Luffy, I love you, man. You are extremely, extremely goated. And here within this chapter, we see the same thing where his intention, right, the entire time was just trying to protect the people that were here. And for him to actually be able to do just that, but of course at a cost of something that he absolutely loves. And that is, of course, his mentor, his guiding figure, the person who's gotten him to this point in Monkey D. Garp, man. And just the entire chapter was so emotional in that thorough line of the future of the Marines. From a structure standpoint, it's built so beautifully. Starting off in the instructor's classroom, where you have Garp talking about their goal, their vision, right? About not only just the potential of the future, but what they should be doing. And I'm just, it was just so incredible to me that in the following page, of course, you see what happened in Amazon Lily, what Kobe did for the people over there, to ensure that, if I get captured, ensure everybody else's release. And you'll see how selfless these characters are in order to protect and safeguard other individuals. What the Marines should be doing, right? And it was just so insane to me, because as we continue to see what these characters are doing against an Emperor's crew in Emperor territory, it was insane. Hell, Meppo going in and attempting to buy time, Groose, protecting everybody from the debris, Garp being like, where are you, where are y'all going, man? Like, listen, let my boys escape. And no matter what is going on, he's just like, this is like his Whitebeard moment, where he's giving it his all, and this, and it's just so beautiful, bro. It's so beautiful because that Kuzan, we assume, right, that this man, especially with the Punk Hazard stuff, that he has an awakening, right? So when you have that in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, Kuzan did not awaken here. Obviously, he has so much remorse and guilt in his heart for what he's doing. We see that in the final panel. When he's crying, the frozen tears are coming out. So when you see the panel where he's like, Garp, where do you think you're going? And Garp just gets up, he's like, yo, this is just a scratch. He goes in and punches him. It reminded me of whenever Luffy punched Garp in Marineford, where obviously Garp was much, 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 much stronger than Luffy at that point in time, but he allowed Luffy to hit him because he believed that was what was right and what would allow Luffy to, of course, make it to Ace, right? In Kuzan's case, these panels, they make me feel a similar type of way, where obviously I think Kuzan and Garp are most certainly much closer than Luffy and Garp was in terms of from like a power level standpoint back in Marineford. But it's not even, I don't care who's stronger between Kuzan or Garp. It's the intent here, right? The intent here of Kuzan looking up, his extremely shocked face, and to me it's a combination of, I don't think he could have stopped this even if he wanted to, but he's like, man, I gotta take the hit. It's like back in when chapter 1081 came out, and he just got bodied by Garp by hitting with a choke slam. It's like, yo, Garp is gonna body this man, but it's also Kuzan sort of allowing it to take place because he feels guilt. And I was like, man, all of those conflicting emotions is what I kept thinking about within this particular sequence of panels. And then you cut over, and Garp does this instant transmission all over, destroying the buildings around just by brute force. And then he unleashes a Conqueror's Coded Strike. Galaxy Divide destroys the island in Avalo Pizarro. It's like, bro. And then the fact that Kobe's like, Groose is like, yo, Kobe, what are you going to do? And Kobe's like, yo, I'm going to try to live up to that man's expectations. Do you see what he's doing? He's giving it his all for us right now. And Garp just keeps smiling and smiling, and the flashbacks. It was just such a perfectly structured chapter, bro. The honesty, impact. But then, man, Garp laughing at Kobe doing the technique and being like, yes. You can feel the joy in Garp's heart. Like, Dude, this is exactly what I wanted for the future of the Marines, and we're seeing it right here. Like my investment in them paid off. It's like whenever Shanks looks at the newspaper and sees the investment that he put into the future with Luffy, and he's like, "Man, you're really doing it out here, Monkey D." Garp is feeling the same way with Kobe. Was like, "Man, you're doing it, kid." Like, and it just in classic D fashion, he laughs. But man, I'll tell you, dude. Like, for example, seeing Helmeppo and his reaction to this, and then when we cut over and we see the narrator come in on, like in the Follow Days paper, legendary hero Vice Admiral Garp would be declared missing in action, stuff of that nature. And he's just like, man, Garp, dude, Garp with a massive icicle sword through his chest. And obviously, we talked about it at the end of the chapter. This part really, really, really hit me hard when I initially read it. But seeing the Kuzan tears panel here as they're frozen, Garp continuing to laugh so hard he has snot coming out of his nose, even though he's clearly dying here. We talked about this on stream, like I was about to say, about the possibilities of Garp, not of course being captured because that was Blackbeard's goal with this entire thing. So Kuzan is more than likely going to be freezing his blood because we can clearly see that it looks like he struck the same place as Shiryu impaled. So it might be a scenario where Garp has his blood frozen here. That way he won't run out of blood and lose all the blood in his body. And Kuzan's actually doing him a favor here, but of course under the command of Blackbeard of being like, hold on, we need to have Garp as a bargaining chip, right? That'd be the ultimate bargaining chip. And so I really wonder where this is going to take us, because obviously on my first read through, I really thought Garp was dying right here. Now I'm more 50-50, or maybe like 25-75, where this might not. I mean, it would be an incredible poetic end to Garp. But at the same time, I feel like there's more there, especially with what Blackbeard said beforehand and Kuzan's guilt with what happened in Ohara, right? Especially if he does not know that Saul is alive. So it's like all these different factors are weighing in, and it just made for a magnificent, magnificent chapter, bro. Garp, like I talked about within the stream itself, out of all the characters that have been elevated in the final saga, from the characters that we've gone around and seen like the stuff going on and from their different perspectives, to me the one that's been elevated the most as a character, it's both as a character and from a hype standpoint, from a combat standpoint, across the board, this man Garp has been like the MVP of this stretch. And coming out of it, I was like, yeah, obviously the Shanks scene was super, super, super legendary, right? And then, of course, we got like the incredible Buggy moment and the Sabo legendary sequence of him having the three admirals stand off with Emu and the rest of them. Even Isam Messenger Sama himself being having an incredible MVP for performance here. But when I think about the highlights of like 4 chapters of this legendary stretch, I keep thinking about Garp. And he truly has been showing out the way that members of this family should. And I've just been so happy that the Marines are getting elevated in this way, especially now that we're heading into the final part of the series. And it makes me wonder the direction that Oda's taking this. It's so interesting, right? Because the W that they took here was like in classic Blackbeard fashion, where Blackbeard is just getting wrecked, but he gets the last laugh. And that's kind of like how this felt for the Blackbeard Pirates, where even though Garp was going in, destroyed San Juan Wolf, destroyed Avila Pizarro, destroyed Shiryu, was destroying Kuzan, Vasco shot never even stood a chance. And it was like all these characters were getting wrecked, but they had the last laugh as Garp is sitting here captured under them, and they're ready to move forward with the next part of their plans. And it was really in classic Blackbeard fashion, and I loved the way that was executed, because that's exactly how the fight against Blackbeard himself would have gone, and or at least up until this point, right? Based on what we've seen throughout the course of the story. But this whole Kuzan and Garp stuff has just been so incredible, and out of all of the Kuzan and Garp chapters that we've gotten so far, this was definitely my favorite. Just the way how self-contained it felt, the callbacks within the chapter itself, the battleship bag sequences, the end of the chapter, the middle of the chapter, just the entire chapter not only flowed so well, but it just had so many powerful moments that hit me in ways that only One Piece can, right, from an emotional standpoint. And I loved it. I loved it, man. This final sequence here is incredible. And when you turn over to the next page, and you see the egghead, that we're finally going back. We're finally going back to seeing what's taking place on Egghead Island. When we return from the break, it will be time to see the Egghead incident, where Emperor Straw Hat Luffy is going to be in the middle of facing a siege, man, for the future of the island. Dude. And it's like, yo, it's for the future of the island on the island of the future. You know what I mean? It's like, man, it's crazy. It really, really is crazy. But what we're about to see is going to be truly something special, man. And I can't wait for whenever we return back to Egghead, when we come back from this break. Obviously, that's going to be the Gear 5 release week in the anime, so it's going to be really special. Going back, seeing the beginning portions of the Egghead incident, while then getting the episode of Legend on that Saturday. And a new opening and ending. It's going to be such a crazy week as fans, but I am all here for it, man. It's going to be wild. We're going to be having a lot of fun, but what an incredible emotional chapter filled with so many hype and emotional sequences. But that final panel letting us know where we're going back. We're finally going back to Egghead. After, man, I feel like we haven't seen Luffy and them since like February. And now we're going to see them, and it's going to be insane considering all the stuff that's been built around the world. Now that we have the marine battleships pulling up, man, we are in for something really, really special. Before we end this portion of the Afterthoughts here, I want to talk about how incredible the color page looks. I love both the Inaki Godoy and Luffy cover from this week's Weekly Shonen Jump, but of course, the East Blue Tomorrow's Studio X Netflix color page, with Usopp, Zoro, Luffy, Nami, and Sanji, with Morgan, Accent Morgan, Shanks, Kobe, Buggy, Kuro, Garp, Mihawk, and Arlong. It's a live action inspired color spread that looks absolutely phenomenal, man. It is one of my favorites from the most recent ones, and we've had a phenomenal stretch of incredible color spreads. I mean, every color spread slaps, but this one in particular, I can't wait for it to come out in a color walk compendium so I can own it, because this feels like the type of color spread I would love to show to people. I would even love to have this color spread on like one of my walls or something. This looks so cool. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an eventful week with this incredible chapter. No episode, but in placement of that, we got an amazing Gear 5 teaser trailer. We got the live action trailer that has me even more excited for the live action stuff. We have Gear 5 coming to Treasure Cruise and to the card game and Pirate Warriors and all that other stuff. And it's just going to be wild. We have a new opening and an ending for the first time in 17 years. We're getting the Monsters one-shot animated. It's just, what a time to be a fan. We're eating like at no other point in the series, in the history of the series. And I thought that we couldn't possibly eat more than last year. Boy, was I wrong. We are eating more than ever right now, man. This is crazy. This is truly the year of Legend. And man, I cannot wait to see what Oda has in store for the future of the manga, bro. It is going to be really, really special, man. But I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things that we discussed within this video. And I will see y'all. Take care and have a blessed one.